All right, let's dive in. Today, we're heading to the beautiful hills of Shimla for a story that kicks off in a simple, humble tea stall, but, trust me, ends up somewhere absolutely incredible.
So, can a single cup of tea really change everything? I mean, it sounds a little dramatic, right? But for the young boy at the heart of our story today, the answer to that question, well, it's going to redefine his entire world. We're not just talking about a drink here. This is a story about identity, about feeling alone, and about finding this amazing strength in places you would never, ever think to look.
Okay, so let's meet our main character. His name is Suri, and he's a young boy living in a small village up in Shimla. And his life, it's kind of defined by this daily routine. A routine that, as you'll see, makes him really different from all the other kids his age.
You know, before that school bell even thinks about ringing, Suri's day is already well underway. He's right there, helping his dad at their family tea stall. Imagine that smell of brewing tea. For him, that's home. It's safe. But, and this is a big but, that warm, cozy feeling, it just vanishes the second he walks into the schoolyard.
And this is really where you see the huge gap, right? Between what's going on inside Suri's head and the reality he has to face every single day. Look, all he wants is what any kid wants. To have friends, to fit in, to just belong. But to the other kids, he's not just Suri. Nope. He's the tea seller's son. That's his label, and that label makes him a super easy target.
Yeah, he's just the son of a tea maker. That line, it's like a ghost that follows him everywhere. It's such a simple thing to say, but for him, it's like a giant wall they've built around him. It's why he's always eating lunch by himself, why he's always the last one standing when they pick teams. It's the root of this really deep, quiet sadness he carries around.
And his dad, he sees it all. He sees the pain in his son's eyes. And what he does next is just wow. It's this incredible act of love. He decides he's willing to give up his entire livelihood, the family business, the tea stall, everything, just on the off chance that it might help his son feel a little more accepted. He actually starts looking for a new job, all for Suri.
But then something happens. An announcement at school that's about to change everything. A school trip into the forest. Now, this isn't just going to be a fun day out. Oh no, this journey is going to be the absolute turning point of this whole story, and it's going to push every single one of them to their breaking point.
And man, things go south so fast. So the day starts off like any other. The kids are mocking Suri. Then a small group, and of course it includes his main bully, Ayan, they decide to stop for a snack. Suri, being responsible, warns them, hey, we're going to fall behind. Of course they just laugh at him. But then the sun starts to set, and suddenly nobody's laughing anymore. They realize they're lost. And as it gets dark, that's when the real fear kicks in. They are completely and utterly alone.
So now we're at the crisis point. They are cold, they are terrified, and they are totally cut off from everyone else. In the middle of a dark, dangerous forest, hope is just draining away.
I mean, you have to picture this. The situation is absolutely desperate. The temperature is plummeting. They've got no food, no water left, and every little sound, every shadow, starts to feel like a wild animal is lurking nearby. They're completely stuck, no idea which way to go, and you can just feel the panic starting to bubble up.
And in that moment, when they're at their most desperate, where do all their eyes turn? You guessed it, right to Suri, the kid they made fun of, the one they only saw as the tea seller's son. It's like, what on earth could he possibly do to get them out of this mess?
Well, it turns out the answer was literally in his backpack the whole time. See, while all the other kids packed candy and snacks, Sari packed what he knew, what was familiar. He pulls out a little pot, some tea leaves, he gathers up snow and melts it down to get water, and right there, in the freezing cold dark, he does the one thing he knows better than anyone. He makes tea. And that hot cup of black tea, it's not just a drink, it's a lifeline. It warms them up from the inside out and gives them a tiny spark of hope. And just like that one simple act, it changes everything. Not just the situation they're in, but more importantly, it completely changes how everyone sees Suri. He's not the tea seller's son anymore. In their eyes, he's their savior.
And you won't believe the timing. Right at that very moment, as the warmth of that tea is literally spreading through their bodies and their spirits, bringing them back from the brink, a light slices through the trees. It's the teachers. They've been found. They're safe. So they get back to camp, and when the teachers start praising the group for surviving, Ayan, remember the main bully, he speaks up, and what he says is it's stunning. He gives Suri all the credit. He doesn't just say Suri helped, he calls him their leader. Can you imagine? For Suri, hearing those words from Ayan, that was maybe even more powerful than being rescued.
And in that one moment, you can feel this massive shift happen inside of Suri. That name they used to hurt him, Teawala, which just means tea maker, it's no longer an insult. Suddenly, it's a badge of honor, a source of incredible pride. The very thing about his identity that made him an outcast was the exact thing that saved everyone.
So, this whole crazy experience brings us to the story's really powerful conclusion, and a lesson that not just Suri, but everyone around him was about to learn for good. So when he finally gets home, his dad has some big news. He says, "I found a good new job. You won't have to be ashamed anymore." He thinks he's doing the right thing. But Suri just stops him, and with this brand new confidence, he says, "No, father, don't change anything. Your work is good." He's not ashamed, not anymore. He is so proud.
What a powerful thing for him to realize, right? That no work is small or big, every single skill has value, every single person has dignity. Those labels that people slap on us, a lot of the time, they're just hiding our biggest strengths.
And you know what? From that day forward, Suri's world was a totally different place. He'd proudly help his dad at the tea stall, not hiding away. And at school, everyone wanted to be his friend. The outcast was now a hero. And the best part is, he didn't become a hero by changing who he was. He became a hero by finally and fully embracing it.
So that kind of leaves us with one last question to think about for ourselves. We all have something, right? A skill, a piece of our story, a part of our background that maybe feels, I don't know, a little ordinary or maybe even unimportant. But just like Suri's knack for making tea in the middle of a snowy forest, that one little thing could be the very thing that makes all the difference one day. So what's yours?